Welcome to Sufi Voice. Today we'll discuss how to describe an object, person, and a place. Let us first try to answer the question: is it really important to learn how to describe an object, person, and a place? If it is, where do we need it? If we talk about describing an object, we do this in every day, is it not? We describe the things around us, and it may be required in your office also, where you are supposed to describe the machinery or equipment or details of a machine that you have created. So describing an object in this aspect becomes important. And when we interact with people, we often try to give details of another person. So what are we doing here? We are describing a person. And when you want to suggest your friend to visit a place, what do you need to do? You need to describe about that particular place. So it becomes essential for us to learn how to describe an object, person, and a place. The process of describing an object starts with a keen observation. We need to observe the object which we are going to describe, like its name. Then we need to focus more on its functions, or how is it going to be used, or what work we are going to do with it. Then we'll talk about the components or parts of the object which we are going to use. And the next thing is we'll talk about the material with which it is made, then the shape of the object, probably its dimensions, and if colors. So here in a way we'll be talking about its physical features. Next, in some situations you will also need to talk about the position. Then if it is a little bit complicated or complex object, then we'll talk about the various parts of the object and how these connections are important in its functioning. So these are the few basic things you need to keep in mind in order to describe an object. Let us describe an electric iron. It is made of heat-resistant polymer plastic and high-grade carbon steel. Its length is 10.2 inches and width 6.1. It weighs 1,600 grams. It removes creases by loosening the ties between long chains of molecules that exist in fibers. There is a thermostat to control its temperature. An insulated coil is positioned on top of the base plate to generate heat. The plastic handle is a bad conductor of heat. It has a rating of 3 energy stars at 1 kilowatt an hour. To describe a person, we need to have a very clear understanding about the person's appearance, especially his mannerisms, and things like color of his hair, his eyes, and facial appearance, and his expressions. As far as possible, try to use positive adjectives to describe a person and stay away from using negative adjectives. A negative adjective may not only offend the feelings of the person, but sometimes we may miss a very good friend, or if it is in business context, It may spoil business relations. So take care that you are not going to use negative adjectives to describe a person. To get a clear understanding of how to describe a person, let us describe a person named John. My best friend John is the most brilliant student in our college. He is a tall young man. He looks slim and too frail for his age. He has an oval face with long straight black hair and small blue eyes. He puts on glasses. He always looks elegant and comfortable in his casual clothes, jeans and t-shirts. Describing a place. Your description of the place should be in such a way that it should cultivate a special interest in the listener's mind to attend the place as early as possible. So especially while describing a place, pay attention to the positive adjectives or a right set of adjectives related to the place. While describing a place, you can talk about the weather or climatic conditions of the place and what is the place famous for? Why do we need to visit this place? What can you expect in this place? Try to focus more on these aspects while describing a place. To give you an example, let us look at how to describe a place like Jaipur. My description would be like this. Jaipur has extreme climate conditions with hot and humid summers, particularly from April to July. The temperature reaches 45 degrees Celsius. During the winter months, the days are fairly sunny and pleasant, and the nights are quite cold as the temperature goes below zero. This will be an ideal place for most of us to visit.